this is where the magic happens.
Now, I just turned off the lights because I think it gives a much cooler vibe, but you are currently right in the studio back in my high school where we had the daily newscast every morning.
So this right here is where all the magic happened every single morning back in high school. This is kind of what gave me kind of the boost in me wanting to do video productions, in college, and kind of why I'm doing this whole vlog. So I thought I would give you guys a brief little tour of the area, and a lot has still changed just briefly upon looking here because I haven't been here in about a year or so, but I'll give you guys a tour so you can kind of have a glimpse on what it was like back in the day for me. Given kind of the small size as well as kind of the somewhat outdated technology, we kind of more or less had to work with what we had. And my video production teacher, Mr. Bitzer, who's a huge influence on me, made it so that this place could work and could function well, and we could still do a plethora of different stuff, even though we didn't, necessarily have the most high-tech equipment and stuff. So
right over here we have the different stations. We have the audio director right over here. You got, the different switchboard and stuff going on, as well as, a computer to pull up, different music and stuff. Right here you have the B-roll director, and what they do is anytime during the actual newscast when they want to, cover a certain topic, they say, go ahead and watch this person will, queue up all the different stuff, and it'll play in the different TV rooms, in the different classrooms. Over here you have technical director, so any kind of switching to the different, whether it's, sports, back to the host, etc. You got it right here, and they do all kinds of different transitions and things like that. And then over here we have graphics, and graphics is exactly what it sounds like. You basically pull up any kind of graphics that kind of go along with, the news readers and things like that. So this is the graphics station. Now that you guys have a little more information about kind of the behind the scenes area, now it's time to talk about the on-screen talent and kind of the on-screen magic. So first up is the host desk area. We would always have two hosts. It would never be one at all. And their job was more or less to segue into the different segments. So it would go to news desk, for example, then back to the host, and then to sports, kind of so it wouldn't, abruptly transition from one to the other kind of thing. So this is the host desk area. So this right here is the news desk section. And the news desk portion was purely to give any kind of information to students that they would need to know about. So it might be information about some club information they might need to know for after school, or some extracurricular stuff, or maybe kind of what's for lunch kind of thing. In my opinion, it was the easiest on-air job because quite literally you just read the paper in front of you and look at the camera kind of thing. But it does have its place within the actual newscast. The actual sports station, pretty cool. We had a really cool sign that was made a few years ago for, I think it was for one of our dinner auctions, and kind of some, trophies placed for stuff we've won in the past. And we were the Borgia Knights with the Knights here. Now, I was never much of a sports guy in high school, and so I never really did sports at all. I was more or less always, behind the scenes, or occasionally I was host desk. I did news desk a couple times, but sports was not up my alley. Can't remember scores to save my life, so I was usually never in this spot at all, but I did respect the guys who did do sports. Next up is the green screen area where we typically would do weather. Now, for those of you who don't know how green screen works, the basic concept or basic principle is you have the different lights here. Now I won't turn them on. And the goal is to illuminate the backdrop fairly well so that there is no dark spots or anything like that. And the subject stands in the middle. And then it's the job of the different technical people in the back to kind of overlay a background image over them. So typically we usually had the weather segment here. So of course the weather person never actually saw any kind of weather in the background. They would purely be relying on the little TV screen or something to kind of see where exactly they were, where they were gesturing, etc., etc. Finally, you have your, I think this was usually where we had our interview segment. So as you can see, kind of a nice little cozy couch, a nice background with the fireplace and the different really cool artwork, looks like from the students. And usually if we were interviewing, say, a sports candidate, or maybe we were interviewing a teacher because they did something cool over the weekend, we'd sit them down here, have a nice casual conversation, like so. No one's here, though. And now one other really cool aspect about this studio is you basically can sign your name on the walls to kind of show that you've been here at Borgia and or you worked on video production. So as you can see from just all different aspects, you got names galore over here, got names up there, names all around here. Hard to see, but all of these names here in the dark, as well as even on the ceilings, are covered. And yours truly, because he did not want to forget, Reagan Simmons, and it says October 4th, 2012. So, your boy himself.
So the whole reason I wanted to give you guys a brief little tour of this was because this, for me, was where it all started in the first place. A lot of great memories here, at times stressful memories on the not-so-good show days, but this more or less was where I felt at home and where I felt like I made the most meaningful progress in my high school career, even though it's kind of weird to say with how long ago it was. I've always liked working with my hands and kind of being creative and being a visual learner. So being able to work all this different technology and make the magic happen that you see on screen was really, really awesome for me, and kind of why I pursued it in college and kind of why I vlog as well.